Hi, my name is Patrick Booth. I'm a partner and principal architect at Woodhull. The Stafford House was built in 1858. It was originally a home for a shipping merchant by the name of William Stafford. It's an Italianate design, very prominent for the neighborhood on High Street and Spring Street in Portland. Woodhull has a long history of looking at how we can adaptively reuse buildings for a future generation. And so when we walked into the Stafford House, we immediately saw its potential for an office space for Woodhull. When we think about buildings and designing and working with good design of previous architects, for example, when we have beautiful context of walnut millwork, we're not necessarily looking to replicate exactly the same paneling of that walnut millwork. Our reception desk is very modern in comparison to the walnut millwork that's next to it. It's done deliberately so that each element has its own place of time, and that hopefully a long time from now, someone else will have the opportunity to see its potential and enjoy it for whatever need they might have.
The almost 200-year-old Greek Revival house at 99 Capissic Street sat abandoned for many years, becoming a near total loss. Thankfully, Vana Carmona brought it back to life through a labor of love. It is homeowners like Vana who preserve the fabric and history of our neighborhoods.
This project, I know that this house is where I belong. I know that it called out to me many years ago, and I was very fortunate that I was able to get it and to fix it. And I'm very happy with the way that it's come out. I also know that I'm going to continue this project. It is not done. I'm going to continue working on this house, and I'm also going to continue working on the property as long as I possibly can.
Well, this is the oldest church in the city, and we're sitting in the meeting house, which was built in 1825. The church has tried for many, many years to make it accessible. It was precluding a fair number of the congregation from actually using the facility. The building is built on a plinth because of its architecture of the time. Because of the historic nature, we really couldn't do anything physical on the building, but we could, on the parish house, put an addition, take off a non-conforming stair and add the elevator and the new stair and the new entrance. That probably was close to $1 million, but we ended up raising about $1.8 million. It was very successful.
This place has started 16 years ago, and it has a total theme all the way through. It has grown and grown beyond my wildest expectations. The question has been asked more than once about the museum and what we think of it, what we believe in it. Number one, I'm adamant, I always have been, always will be, that this is not a testimony to war. This is about American men and women who served their country over the last 250, 300 years and will continue to do so. There are bigger museums in this country, but there are no better, because the one thing we do here that very few, if any, museums do is we tell all the stories. There's not a piece in here, from the smallest to the largest, that we don't know who earned it, who wore it, who used it, and what their contributions were to the state of Maine.
I'm Jane Banker. I'm a member of the executive team on the board of the Fifth Maine Museum. The Fifth Maine Museum is a Queen Anne style cottage that was built by the veterans of the 5th Maine Regiment of the American Civil War as a place where they could reune in the summertime. In 2021, we discovered that there were a number of water leaks around some of the second floor windows. A survey of all of the windows indicated that they were all in some degree of disrepair. So we decided that we would hire Bagala Window Works. Everything was reglazed and painted, primed and painted, and returned to their original spots in the building. And the end result is spectacular.
There's so much enthusiasm and energy and goodwill and affection for Portland that I really got to tap into in my job and help people accomplish goals.
For 40 years, I was the director of the Maine Historic Preservation Commission. And during those 40 years, my tenure overlapped with Deb's, both at Greater Portland Landmarks and at the City of Portland. She was such a great preservation partner during those years. She really won many people to the value of historic preservation in Portland.
I'm very lucky to have had a front row seat in witnessing a remarkable transformation in Portland over the last 40 years. To seeing historic preservation really provides a sense of rootedness, a sense of place that's really hard to create today. And that evolution that I've been lucky to witness has been enormously meaningful to me.
Maren Forsyth promised her father that she would restore the house that had been in their family for 4 generations. Bucknam Tavern was built around 1750 and is one of Falmouth's oldest surviving houses, once serving as a stagecoach stop on the King's Highway. Maren, her husband Alex Scangus, and the talented team they assembled restored and reconstructed the house, salvaging as many original materials as possible. Despite its outward appearance, much of the interior was intact and could be preserved. Using photographs and physical evidence, the rear L was able to be reconstructed. Bucknam Tavern is a repository of local history, a promise kept, and a beautiful home for future generations of this dedicated family. Peter Lord has been restoring plaster for over 40 years, and his skills are unparalleled in the field. His expertise and artistry allow him to recreate damaged decorative moldings and bring cracked walls back to their original smooth sheen. In his restoration projects, he uses period-appropriate materials and the corresponding techniques, ensuring that repairs are conducted with historical accuracy.
I enjoy figuring out the character of the plaster and how it was created in the first place, and then being able to recreate either the flat look or the ornamental designs that were intended.
Some preservation projects are difficult, but often are critical for saving meaningful historic sites, providing housing and services, and revitalizing challenged neighborhoods. Developers Collaborative is up for that challenge. As a leader among developers in Maine, Developers Collaborative focuses on mixed-use and residential projects through adaptive reuse, smart growth principles, and community engagement. This work is led by founder and principal Kevin Bunker, a true visionary in seeking creative solutions for historic buildings that benefit communities. A few of their transformative projects include the Reed School, now a nonprofit preschool and housing, Freedom Place, a former Catholic school, now a recovery center for women, and the Stevens Square Community Center, now an anchor of the Deering Center neighborhood.
My name is Jacob Soley. I'm the Director of Development at East Brown Cow. Our historic urban fabric, there's only so much of it. It's a finite resource, right? They've survived hundreds of years, in the case of this building. It was actually slated to be torn down in the 1960s, and to the credit of Greater Portland Landmarks, they are definitely the ones that got it on the National Historic Register and was actually able to save the building. The project was a 3-phase project, and the first phase was actually just the 3rd floor of the building, which was converting that floor into, at the time, 11 units of a hospitality model. The second phase was the 2nd level of the building because the hospitality was so successful. That also did some more significant restorations to the exterior of the building. And then the final phase, which we just completed, the final conversion of the 4th floor, conversion of the retail levels, and then a complete restoration of the exterior of the building, the most significant of it being replacing the original slate roof, although there were many other interventions as well.